Hey, welcome once again to my channel, CC Sharing Space.
Mhm.
Thank you for tuning in. Um, Today I'd like to speak about a topic which is really quite interesting. It's about yourself, right? Your your self identity, according to also your ego as well, right? Because a lot of people say that who are you? Do you know yourself and stuff. The self concept is very complex because it's made up of different components, so-called archetypes, right? The ego is one of the most main concepts within the self. Okay. What I'd like to speak about firstly is about the consciousness, your subconsciousness and your consciousness. It's quite interesting when you look into it and understand that your mind is divided into a number of segments or parts which are very important to which make up your identity, right? So the ego is one of them, is your subconscious and then your conscious mind. Okay, today I would like to speak about your subconscious. Your subconscious is your memory bank. It's where everything is recorded about your life events. From the time you were born, it records everything, every event that happened in your life and how you reacted to those events. Okay, your subconscious is like a silent record of everything. So people's lives are actually controlled by their subconscious. Every decision you make in your life is controlled by your subconscious, especially if you put in situations whereby you need to make decisions regards to issues which are challenging and difficult. Okay, so your subconscious now will call out that events, because sometimes in most cases things reoccur in your life. Okay, so your subconscious recalls it from your memory bank, which is subconscious memory bank, on how to react to it. For example, if it when the first time it ever happened to you, that certain experience, say for example, the first time that you were called a negative word, maybe lazy, or you were called greedy. From the time you were small, your parents would, or part of the whole conditioning, you know what I mean? So as you were growing up, your parents are schooling you, they're conditioning you. Okay, so as you do things like a small child, experimenting, touching the stove, and things like that. So those type of events will happen again later in life, where a person will recommend you for doing something which is considered maybe not socially acceptable. Like for example, they say that men mustn't cry. So from a young age, our men are taught or conditioned on how to react. Like your mother will say, why are you crying? You shouldn't be crying because men don't cry, boys don't cry, you're a big boy, don't cry, you see. So they then learn then subconsciously that crying is a negative thing, it's a negative reaction. That's all stored in your subconscious memory bank. Okay, and then as life goes by, it's like that, and that'll be your conditioning in life. Then you'll find that even when you're older now, you're now married, maybe past teenage, now you're now an adult and you're married, you know that you cannot cry, because crying is not acceptable emotion for a man. That's what you were taught when you were young. It's a positive conditioning, right? So your subconscious plays a very, very important role of who you are and how you react to certain events, how you react to happy events, meaning events that make you feel happy and good, and how you react to maybe achieving things, or even how you react to, for example, negative things in your life, like you've been recommended for doing something you're not supposed to be doing, and you're having arguments with your partner when you're older. All the conditioning that have happened right through your life is stored. So those certain emotions will trigger that response, which is stored in your memory bank, which is subconscious bank. I mean, subconscious memory. It's quite interesting to know that we think that we are in our control in our day-to-day now moments, really, because the mere fact is that subconsciously we are not really in control of the subconscious mind. Okay, so the difference between a conscious mind and a subconscious mind is that the conscious mind is the now moments. It's the day-to-day events and how you react consciously at this moment now. Okay, so it's like short-term memory, and in your subconscious is your long-term memory. So they say that some people, they lose their memories and certain parts of their brains have been injured, and they lose maybe this short-term memory, and if they hurt another area of the brain, they lose their long-term memory, which is really the subconscious. Okay, So what I need to what I found out there is quite interesting, and it's nice for us to understand how we work, how we operate, because at the end of the day we're always working on trying to make our lives better. To make your life better, you need to make right decisions. You need to understand what triggers you and why do you react to certain things. So I'm very big on self-development. I'm very big on inner work of deciding and establishing why do you behave and react to certain things. And this I found out to be very helpful in my marriage, my relationship with my husband, and even with my family, even with my kids. There's certain things that I was taught when I was younger, and then I enforce it on them because of my own upbringing, my own conditioning. And then now I'm then imparting their conditioning to my kids as well, and they have that same conditioning as well. You understand? So what's good about the subconscious, once you realize that the subconscious, that it's all conditioning, you can actually recondition your subconscious. You can put in new data and to override that data, right? That's still really, especially if your subconscious allows you to behave in a very aggressive manner or in a very egotistical manner. That's another part of the human psyche, is our ego. Our ego is there for protection. Okay, so the ego protects who you are. Your ego is your identity of self. It's part of the self. So it's very important component of the self. That's why people say the ego is a negative concept. But it's not really, because the ego can be both negative and it can be positive. However, the ego is there to protect you as a person. Your ego is there to allow you to react in certain ways. It protects yourself basically, especially if you feel threatened. Because as we're growing up, when we're youngsters, in our childhood, we taught about the self identity, who you are. First, you're given a name, right? And they may teach you concepts like I and we. So the first thing you learn is I, me, CC, things like that. I'm separate to you, so and so. So that's part of the conditioning, and that's how our ego develops. Like for example, a child is playing with other children in the playground, and then maybe they're fighting over toys or something like that. You know what I mean? And then the children will say, "This is my toy. It's mine." That's an I identity. It's your ego. It's mine. So don't touch my stuff. Don't play with my toy. That kind of thing. So the ego is a very important concept of who we are. However, we can learn to recognize it for what it is. It's there to protect us. It's there as part of who we are. However, we cannot, or we should not actually, allow the ego to be overflated and grow so overflated that we're not able to socialize with people. You know what I mean? We need to have an identity. We identify with other people as well, and that's where compassion and understanding comes in. That's why we have philosophies like religion, like the Christian religion and other philosophies that's supposed to teach us compassion for each other and for ourselves. You understand? So it's very important to understand the ego is not a negative thing or construct. It's actually a very important part of who we are as people. So again, we need to embrace these things. You know what I mean? Understand them, learn them, do your research, and embrace them, and get to know who you are and what triggers you. Sometimes it's difficult. We find that we actually alienating other people because of our ego. It's so inflated that we don't know how to empathize with other people. We don't know how to how can I say, we don't know how to relate in a sociable manner, because of the fact that our egos are so over inflated that we only focus on our needs, our demands, our wants. And that's okay, because we taught that it's part of the human psychic, it's part of the human journey. Because as I said, the first thing you learn as a child is that there's a we, there's us, and there's I, there's me. That's why you're given a name, an identity. However, we're not taught late in our lives that we're all one as people. You understand? I cannot operate without you. I am who I am because of you. Like, for example, most people, like, say, for example, celebrities, that's a perfect example. Celebrities reach their fame because of their talents. However, they depend on you, the people out there, to buy their music, to like and like their performance, to go to their concerts and stuff like that. So we cannot be alone. We all connected somehow, how or the other we connected. Like for example now, I'm busy with this channel, CC Sharing Space. I'm sending a message out to people because I understand this. It's not about me only, it's about other people. That's why when people respond, I should respond positively, because at the end of the day, I'm putting myself out there because I understand that I'm not alone. We're not islands, and everybody needs communication. Everybody needs socializing. Everybody needs information. And now that we're in information age, we have more opportunities to learn things about who we are and what we are. You know what I mean? Like, I know there's a lot of learned people with degrees, people who are very successful in life, but they're so egotistical, so they can't reach their happiness. Another important concept of the ego never gets satisfied. The ego just wants more and more and more and more. The more you grow, the more you develop, the more you achieve. Because the ego is a fantastic way of motivating yourself. It motivates you, allows you to achieve greater things in life. So, and it never gets satisfied, because there's always a new challenge, a new thing to achieve, another degree, another bigger job, bigger paying job, a bigger car, a bigger house. It doesn't allow you to find happiness and peace and contentment. So one of the ways of controlling the ego and being in control of the ego yourself, because it's part of who you are. It's not a bad thing. You need to embrace it, but you need to have control of your ego. You understand? Like your ego, you need to understand that, okay, now I've achieved what I wanted to achieve. Because we have goals, and when you achieve a certain goal, okay, and you find peace in that, what that goal is provided for you. You find peace and contentment and joy in that moment, in those things that you've now achieved. Maybe you can now afford a beautiful house near the beach or something. You can afford a house in the mountains, or whatever your goal is and your wish is, and you've achieved it. But the ego will not let you rest. An overinflated ego will not make you rest. It also always wants you to push you actually to want more, to work for more, and you don't have that peace. So one of the important things about getting control of your ego is to actually understand that I'm now content. I'm not happy with what I have. So it's quite an interesting concept. I looked into different issues around self and ego, and the two tied together, the ego and self, they're tied together because ego is part of the self archetype. You understand? And archetypes are just normal constructions of the human psyche. You know what I mean? There's a guy called Carl Jung. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name well, but it's a Swiss psychologist that was operating, and he's got all his information. His information and books and everything are online, so you can get books on the psychic, on how the mind works, and the ego, and how to control the ego, and the archetypes and everything like that. All these things help us be better people. All this information help us to be better people, better husbands, better fathers, better mothers, better business people, better bosses, just better sports people as well. It makes us understand who we are. So we won't alienize our dark sides, you know what I mean, the sides we don't really like. We won't suppress things that we should be really not suppressing, right? Anyway, thank you again for tuning into my channel, CC's Sharing Space. Please subscribe and like my videos. Thank you so much.